This is a review of the AC22 action camera. These are all the bits that you get with it, bar two. There's two straps you get for attaching it to your helmet, which I'll never use, so I haven't got those out. You get with it a manual. It's A3 size sheet of paper, the usual shiny stuff. It's basically split out into 10 sections. First one outlines the key features of the camera. It can record up to 720 dpi, which is fine by me. I won't use anything more than that and never have done. It'll do 5 megapixel photographs, which I'll not use. I've got a mobile phone that'll do 20 megabytes or megapixels. You can put 32 gig memory card in it. Comes with an 8 gig one. And with 32 gig you can record up to 7 hours of filming, of video. And of course if I'm on a biking ride, which is what I'll be using it for, I don't record the whole time I'm out. Probably 7 to 10 hour day sometimes. So that will probably do a whole day on a 32 gigabyte card. The battery is supposed to last for 3 hours, continuous use. It does automatically switch itself off after 1, 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how you set it, if it's not recording. So it can save the battery, and I reckon that'll last me a whole day on one charge. But we'll see. And it's waterproof down to 10 metres as long as you leave the back on it. Without the back it's not waterproof at all. Now it comes with lots of things. Nice little bag to store it in, which is alright. It's not fantastic, but it'll do the job, and it'll certainly protect the lens. You've got a screwdriver, one of those. It's for fastening this to the bottom of the camera. If you can't do it by hand, if you're not strong enough, say, you can use a screwdriver to be able to fasten it up. I probably won't use that, if you want the truth. This is for safety. It's to make sure you don't lose the camera. So you get this with it, and it goes through a loop in the bottom of the camera, and then you can attach that to something so you don't lose it. Personally, I've already tried this. This fits neatly around the chin strap on my helmet. That doesn't, so I doubt that I would use that at all. This is an additional way to secure the helmet. Now, normally all I do is I stick it to the helmet, stick a bracket to it with one of these, and that's usually good enough, so I can't see me ever using that. And it'll be the same with these two things. These are to stick that small bracket to a helmet, and I doubt that I would ever use them. This, it's a spare sticky for this bracket on the helmet, and I will keep that to one side just in case. This one's the same, sticky. Well, again, I'll keep that, it's the right size. You've got a memory card holder, USB. I've got enough of these, I don't need another one, and in fact this one's a little bit cracked, so that'll probably go in the bin and not get used. You've got your power supply for charging it up and for transferring video to your computer. It comes with it. It's quite good actually. It's a good solid USB lead. This, well, I'll keep it just in case I want to put it on the top of my crash helmet, or if I want to attach it to the top of a box on my bike. But for most use that I'm going to have for this, I want the camera attached to my helmet, and this really isn't going to work for me at all. This is the other attachment for the camera, and it goes into the side of the helmet. It goes in at 90 degrees and the camera slides into it like that, and I will be using this. It's the thing I'll be using pretty much all of the time. This attaches to the bottom of the camera and it clips into this, so I'll be using that all of the time. And of course the camera I'll be using all of the time as well. Now this camera, once you set it up, it's dead simple. There's nothing to adjust, there's no zoom, there's no white balance, nothing. You don't even need to worry about the resolution. It's got two options. On there you've got HD and WVGA. WVGA is a lower resolution, I'll never use it. 720 dpi is good enough for me. The memory card that comes with it, it's an 8 gigabyte card. And the thing to bear with this card is when it's supplied, it's got the software for setting up the camera on it. 8GB is not really big enough for me for a day's riding. I'll most likely keep it, put it to one side, just in case I need to reset the camera. It's got a reset button there, for example, and if I press that, I'm going to need to redo all the settings on the camera. It has the usual HDMI at the top, and the usual USB connection for charging it up and transferring your files. The only way it's waterproof is when this is on the back, and it basically slots in, turns, and then you lock it. And once you've done that, it's waterproof. The manual says you have to keep it clean, so there's a rubber seal that needs to be kept clean. As long as you do that, it stays waterproof. And the way that this works, you got this little device. It just sits in the bottom. Let's get this out. Right, it just sits in the bottom and screws in with a guide pin to make sure it goes in right. So once you've done that, that's nice and tight. If you don't think it's tight enough, then of course, yeah, you can use the little screwdriver that they supply with it. So you can just nip it up if you want to. On the helmet, there's the main bracket that comes with it, with the screw. It's just a ball joint, and you just push that in, and in principle that's all there is to it. Now, when you tighten this up, it tightens up on the ball and it doesn't move, in theory. So there you go. Now, because of the way this camera is set up, it's got to go on this upside down. Slides in, tighten the nut, and in principle you're done. Now, it has the G sensor on it, so it knows when it's upside down and it inverts the picture, so effectively you end up with an upright picture, or the picture the right way up. And that is pretty much all you need to do to get it clipped to the helmet and ready to go. To use it, it's charged, it's got a memory card in it. As long as you've got that, you slide it forward. Buzzes, the light goes to red, and now it's recording. You want to stop recording, slide it back, it buzzes twice, goes to green, and if you set it to go off after a minute, that green light will go out as well, because it will switch itself off. If you want to do it before that, just press the button down. One long buzz, and now it's switched off. Now, it doesn't matter if it's switched off. If you decide you want to record, slide it forward, it switches itself on, and starts recording. It's that simple. Now, riding a bike gloves, I can feel that through the gloves. So I know it's on, and I know it's off, and I can feel the buzz go through the helmet as well. The reason it's on the left hand side is because my right hand operates the throttle, my left hand does the clutch, so I can actually let go with my left hand, reach up and press the button, and away it goes. Now, those are all the good things about this camera. It's dead simple. There's nothing about it that's fussy. I'm not going to be sitting on my bike worrying about if I've got the white balance right. I'm not going to be sitting on my bike worrying if I've got the resolution right, or if I've set it so that it shows the date and time on it. Don't need to do anything like that. It's just plug it in and away you go. As long as it's powered up, got charge in the battery, this thing will just work. Perfect. There are some things that I think probably a bit tricky with it. One of them, if you look at this on the helmet, now I've got to line that up, and it moves to line it up. Once I've lined it up, I can tighten it up, but it still moves. I've got to really get it tight for it not to move, but it is a little bit loose. What kind of a difference that's going to make when I'm riding my bike, I don't know. It may not make any difference at all, but this is, it's going to move. I'm going to be in a tent for 4 nights. This is going to move, and I'm going to have to readjust it. I'm probably readjusting it, so I'm never going to know if it's really right. So I'm going to have to get this right before I go, take a picture of it so I know how it's lined up, and then use the picture to line it up whenever it gets moved, just to make sure it's always going to be pointing in the right direction. The other thing about it that I think is going to be a problem, this case, this back cover, it's separate. Without it, this camera is not waterproof, and in the UK that's pretty much useless, and this isn't affixed to the camera. If I'm in a tent or on a ferry, I can see that going missing. The only thing I can think of to do with it is get some araldite and some cord and fasten it to the camera so that it can't go missing. Alternatively, take a box with me everywhere I go and put it in the box as soon as I take it off so it can't go missing. I think probably the first idea will be the best. The latter is I'm a dead cert to lose it. And that is pretty much the camera. I've already set it up. Setup's actually quite easy. On the memory card, there's the software for doing it. You plug the USB port into the back, plug it into your computer, go to the directory on the SD card, and you'll find the software for setting it up. You just double click it and it comes up. You don't get many choices. It's basically down to setting it for the language, setting the date and the time, and setting how long you want it to wait before it automatically switches off, powers down completely. And those are the only settings that you really have for it. I think this is going to be quite a good camera. I've already used it, walked around the park, but I haven't used it on the helmet yet, and I haven't used it on a bike yet. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to work. We're away for 5 days, camping in Scotland, doing the North Coast, ostensibly the North Coast 500, but it's the motorcycle news version, which is 767 miles long instead. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this camera does. What I'll do, when I've used it, I'll actually port some of the videos on YouTube so you can see how it works and how good or even how bad it might be. I'll explain how it worked, let you know if it worked well for me.